12 steps are not going to help you with anything if your disease is greed. Let's flush the author of that Christian work, people. Let's flush the author of the Christian work who said that silliness. With the stench of growth. Down you go. Say hello to the alligators. Where are we gonna go tonight, people? We're going to Greed. We're going to Greed Town. Oh, we're going to Greed Town, people. Now, I know this is going to anger a lot of monists. A lot of monist people who are out there tonight saying, oh, you know what? We can make as much money as we want. Greed in antiquity, in Mother Greek, is a disease. The Hippocratic Corpus tells us about the symptoms, tells us about that terrible greed and what it does to you. All the concerns and worries that it brings to you. Be satisfied with what you've got. If you're a follower of things biblical, you know what I mean? I'm going to work the toilet in for something. I don't know what it is. Perhaps we'll flush people. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it? Let's flush people. Oh, I just created a new form of spiritual torture. The flushing. Who are we going to flush tonight, people? Who is it here? I'm going to put him in here without you see him, and we're going to flush him. Bye-bye. Perfect. That is my new toilet to hell. Love it. I want to start off by framing all of this Satanic Congregation with this announcement. The following person says, you and I, that we together are very, very, very bad people, calling us the worst thing. The thing right now that is causing the stir in the air. Can you feel the storm? Can you feel the storm? Oh, God. These people, this person that we just flushed, gave him that drowning sensation, right? This person we are now bringing to Nemesis, an offering. And in order to feel the justice, people, I want to see what your accuser said.
To then defend their man, like, because they want to defend their safe space. Right now, they can be out and not just say that they're no, this is serious. Like, of course we should talk about, like you were just saying, like, but in Greece it was okay, you know, like that, like dragging it in that direction. It becomes kind of like a gateway drug to sort of be pro platform. And the question then becomes, like, is Ammon Hillman aware that he's doing this, or is he just sort of someone who stumbled into doing it, and then all the people who've all were gravitating to him and defending him, like, are they like just trying to prop up their man because they love that he's created this safe space for them to talk about this stuff and force other people to talk about it? Like, literally, I'm so disgusted that they forced me to talk about this shit. Like, I don't even want to talk about this. And it's like, because it's so gross, like the whole description and everything. It's like,
he's so vivid and like really just something. No, without a doubt, you can walk away with as perverted as I mean, and everybody, there's people, everyone has kinks. I'm not shaming people's kinks. Yeah, but when it involves 9-year-old boys, you're outside ethical kink.
You know what my kink is? My kink is Nemesis. My kink is the worship of Nemesis. People, behold our justice tonight. Behold the power of the art in the inspired. Behold.
Ladies and gentlemen, I did not know whether or not I was ever going to make this video or just kind of keep it between me and my family and move forward. But it's been my wisdom philosophy from the past that sometimes transparency and opening up about things that are kind of private can actually help more people than we realize.
Please understand, we are trying to help people. Like people like us that you just accused of being the worst thing possible. People like us, perhaps. Satanic Congregation.
And then also, because we're a social creature, we connect and we don't feel alone. And it's important that we do update people. So you might be going, what the hell is going on with this thumbnail? And why are you in the emergency room?
More importantly, what are you doing taking pictures of yourself in the... Somewhat odd, right? Keep going, Chewy.
You on what's been going on. I am a recovering drug addict. October the 25th of this year was 10 years off of opiates, off of alcohol, like I did no drugs.
Congratulations. Can we fast forward through his personal bio? I just want to see what's happened in the last month since the printing of the allegations that you people are the most evil people on the planet. That's what I want to see.
Used my body quite up. I was really stuck in addiction, extended releases and tons of 10 milligram instant releases. I'm speaking
drugs.
Medical, like some people may not know what these medications are. Ask because I think maybe there's some trauma, but maybe there's
keep going. His personal medical history is
that moment of panic that I experienced after 5 days of being awake and the Adderall.
Panic.
There was a fear.
There was fear. Keep listening for the main terms. I'm going to bring Aristotle in a minute, and I'm going to show you what this disease is from which he is suffering, the psychic disease that holds him in its grips. We are here to bring Derek to the liberator herself, Nemesis. Oh, God. Let's see everything in the light. Let's see what the Hippocratic said about it. Keep going.
There's a fear in my mind, and I would have these moments where I didn't want to leave my house. I would have these moments where when I would drink coffee, if I did not eat my food first and that food absorbed my coffee, it would outer body. I'm about to pass out. I feel like I might die.
He's describing panic
experience,
attacks, right, people?
And I've had that for 15 years.
Okay.
15 years. It's like a best be enemies out there who don't like me, who might be glad that this is the kind of suffering I go through. And that's unfortunate because what I'm going through.
There cannot be anyone who sits on the beach and watches the person flail and say, "Oh, Lucretius, if only we were safe." Unlike that guy. Oh, God.
I don't wish on my enemies. And I want to make this clear that there are probably more people out there who are even watching this who suffer from the same kinds of anxieties or panics. And recently it was so bad. It was so intense. For 24 hours, I was in this really, I might die. My blood pressure was high. I have a way to check my blood pressure at home. I felt like I couldn't escape my body, but I felt like I was dying.
It's fear. It's fear, right? Let it keep going, Chewy. It's fear.
And I eventually buckled after trying to go to sleep, and I finally somehow went to sleep. My tongue was numb. I was panicking. I don't know how else to put it. The best way I can describe what I felt was, have you ever been in water, drowning and can't get up?
Yes.
And you are trying to get to the oxygen, but you can't breathe.
Oh, God. What a feeling. A feeling of strangulation. You know, this Nemesis priesthood. You know where they come from now, don't you? Oh, God. Hit it.
And you're feeling the fight or flight kick in the brain. You feel like I'm going to die. That's the feeling of panic that I was experiencing. And I'd never experienced it on that level for that long in my life till 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
So I went.
Okay, now here's what I want. Get to the kind of the chase, right? You're like, oh my God, the movie started with such terror. Right? There he is laying in the bed. Right? Oh God. Here he is. Right on the edge, people. What is causing such tremendous pain?
They checked blood. I'm a big baby. They took my blood. They've said, look, your blood's come back fine. You seem to be completely healthy. What's going on in your life? I just bought a new house. I've got a lot of bills.
Just bought the house. I want to stop right there and I want to address my classroom. Of my classroom out there, a show of hands. Who does not own a home? Yeah, it's going to be most of us.
We buy this new house and downstairs.
Okay, here we go. What is the centrality? Again, people, we're trying to diagnose historically. What is this disease that we're sitting at his bed and watching him suffer? What is it? We must name it. It is caused by a fear, by a great intensive fear that is coming from something that is happening. Chewy, what is happening?
I'm just gonna unload it to you. I'm just gonna tell you. Downstairs where my children are, there's 2 bathrooms that don't work right now in our laundry.
Wait a minute. Did he say, is this a direct quote? Downstairs? Well, congratulations for having an up and down. That's nice. Right in your home that none of us have. That's extremely nice. Extremely nice. 2 of your 3 bathrooms don't work and you're having to share. Let me tell you something. You can stand in your bathroom and run your show. Yeah, you can.
Machine can't be used because the pumps that are downstairs aren't working. They aren't working, so they can't use the restrooms. They have to come up. We all have to share bathrooms. And we can't even do laundry. We got to drive to go do laundry. And the cost that goes into that, I put a lot of money down on this house.
Oh, God. I see the crushing stress. People out there, especially the American detachment of the Nemesis Division. Please, those of you who have no washing and drying machines, those of you who have to go out in public to wash your laundry, what is this? That's what I'm going to show you. And that's what we're here to do, is to diagnose. What is this? Are there other problems? Go ahead with the laundry. Okay, you got to go. Hey, you know, laundry can be a lot of fun, taking your fam down to the place and sitting there and watching it go around, because you don't want anybody to take it, right? You sit there and watch it, right? Welcome to the world of most of us. American detachment. Give this an applause. Give it an applause, Satanic Congregation. Hail Satan.
I'm doing my best to try and make sure that they're okay. Then the pool heater's not right. I'm gonna find out that the pump to the pool is messed up. So our pool's having issues. Like there's all sorts of complications, issues.
Stop. Okay, stop. I just can't take serious. Your pool pump. One more time. Hey, Satanic Congregation. Those of you that this person who had a breakdown, this person, his problems with his pool. Tell me those of you without pools, what kind of foolery this is. What kind of humbuggery? What kind of snatchery? Reaching in the pocket, taking it out and loving it. What is the source? Go ahead and put up the Greek. Let's start with the Greek, people. I know that's a lot. It's a lot for us to chow down on, people. Let's look at something beautiful before we get into the disease that is existing here. And I'm only calling that because they called it that. People, what does this say? Philology, nusos aoristos. Greed is a limitless disease. Greed is a limitless disease. Do you hear me? It is not a drive or an impulse. It is a disease. It is not a state of mind. It is not a psychology. Greed is a disease. There are several words in ancient Greek. Mother Greek is so sexy that there are several words. There are numerous words for greed. The problem is we only have one word in English, right? So it's difficult for us to fathom the nuances and the differences between the words. I'm going to show you those. But there are a certain type of people who get greedy. Did you know that you can tell if your children have this disease? Did you know? Can you hear how sophisticated the Greek medicine is? You are diagnosing children with the disease of greed. Now, I know there are a lot of mothers out there, a lot of single fathers, right, who did it by themselves, right? There are a lot of us out there who can tell you, yeah, you can see things from a very early age. You can pick up on your child's personality from a very young age. Well, the Hippocratics were trying to help people who were having problems with greed. Greed is a disease that will cause you to fear. Give me another bit of Greek, Chewy. People, look at the last two words. This is what people who have the disease, what kind of symptoms they exhibit. Hubristai, they're hubristic. And what is that? These people are dangerous. They're dangerous. Bad people, like Jeffrey Epstein would say, or Jesus would say, this guy is dangerous. People who are hubristic, particularly, and this is found in demagogues, it's their DNA. Hubris is the act of striking someone. You cannot strike a free citizen, and that free citizen can't strike you. Do you understand? It's hubris for you to think you can do that and get away with it. It's hubris for you to think that you can take advantage and abuse children and get away with it. The storm, the electricity in the air is ready. We're here for Dionysus. Do you understand? We're here. Here it is, people. It's time to go out and catch your lightning.
So I got a brother who's trying to get clean. I have a lot of bills, right? We're trying to take care of. I've got problems with a house we just bought and spent a lot of money trying to get. And then there's this like gradual, like YouTube's slowed down on this big channel. Overall, just the analytics have changed quite a bit. Things have slowed down. I'll give you an example. I could do a documentary video and it would get a couple 100,000 views. And it was on average that would happen with a lot of these topics. There was a ton of new people, right, that are out there. And there are still tons of people out there that are into this.
You know what's really cool, Satanic Congregation, is not to ever have thought about anything like that. Do you know what I think about? And what Chewy thinks about? We think about the episode and how to make it the best. That's what we think. None of these considerations are there. Right? Why? Because Chewy and I are not doing this for profit. This is art. Art can be inspired. Profit making is not inspiring. And hence the problem. The problem that the performance drops when you are uninspiring to your dream. Then she will end up without completion. Do you understand? The cosmos is erotic. It follows eros, the basic physics of intercourse. Are the physics that you stumble into every day, and the very reason that you're here, that you don't even realize it. You're here because somebody saw somebody else and went, oh yeah. Keep going with the clip.
I don't know if it's the AI slop that is out there, that just AI channels that are like causing some of these issues. I don't know what YouTube has done with their algorithm, but I could keep a steady, guaranteed, almost predictable income through YouTube all these years. And when I started doing documentaries and I was able to do well-polished stuff, it even did better. And those videos would get a couple 100,000. My craft and my intelligence of the research that I'm doing has actually become far greater than it was before. And I did a video called Gardeners of the Gods. And
Okay, people. So what's the reason? Are you diagnosing this properly? Are you examining it, thinking about it, taking it apart? What is the patient complaining of? The patient is complaining people are not watching his videos, right? That's what the complaint is. People are not watching. Something's not generated. I have a theory, ladies and gentlemen. Ammon has a theory about why that is. What happens when you take an expert and expose them in public? Nobody wants to buy their crap anymore. Go ahead.
Progress. All right. So it means to be rubbed on, used as ointment or salve. Anointed, Messiah.
If you go
Euripides. Oh, wow. Look at that. Euripides is right there.
So click on Euripides.
Okay. Euripides.
Oh, there's Christos. No, that's the case. Phaedra. Yeah, there it is.
Phaedra?
Yeah, where it says whether it is the anointment or the drug drink.
Drug drink.
Yeah, whether anointment or drug drink. In other words, the poisonous drink or the anointment.
So is it used as a drug term here?
No.
Can we give it credit for being here?
No, because it says the.
No, right? Wait, it is? Wait, you just said it was. But here we can view it as a drug, right? And Christ is a drug. No, we can't wait. But you just said it was, right? Now people saw that. And the reaction was horrific in the comments. People should have seen it. And there were people coming to the defense saying, oh, no. What was that you saw, people? What you saw is somebody who could not handle that level of Greek get taken down. What we have, Satanic Congregation, is indefensible. That's why they resort to something like saying, you, Satanic Congregation, are a bunch of perverts. Do you understand? It is the ad hominem attack on you. Was it that disturbed this man and caused him to have a breakdown? Was that the source of the anxiety? It was the loss of the expertise. Nobody wants to buy what is. Remember when Derek offered me the same deal that he offers all of his ladies. He said, it's easy money. Easy money. You put together an hour worth of material. You do it maybe 14 times like you would a class. Put 14 hours out there of material. Boom, put it out there, buy it for $50, $60 a pop. Really? Really? It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be sellable. Do you see where greed leads you? It leads you into thinking that everything is buying and selling. It's a disease.
instead of God, grant me the serenity, pray to yourself. Say, Derek, grant yourself the serenity. How's it go? Grant yourself the serenity to let those things go you cannot change, to change the things you can, and to accept, it's like this. It's just like, dude, do what you can, do the best you can, and don't beat yourself up. That's the prayer, right?
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
No, that doesn't get to the root of the disease. It just works around it. And then the fork was, people, what is our diagnosis and prognosis? First, we already have a diagnosis, and I'm going to show you more Greek to show that. But I want you to tell me, what is the prognosis of this patient? Is this patient aware of the cause of their disease? What is the root of their suffering? No, the patient is not aware. With the Hippocratic medicine that we have from antiquity, we have to be aware of the patient's own mental state. Whether or not they understand what's going on is a big deal. What does greed make of you as a person? Hyperephanos, that's what it makes you. It makes you arrogant. Right? It makes you arrogant. I don't understand how I can be getting 100,000 views and then drop. Boom. Well, maybe step out of your shell for a minute and look at your work. Do you know how many dozens of comments were coming in saying, oh God, just look at what's happened, man. Go back and maybe, what is it, right? You don't have to always succeed unless you're stricken by greed. This is neither oath, truth, nor creed. Oh my. Somebody out there is on weed. Ow! I stuck it. Did you see that? Dr. Seuss. Overweening and arrogant people, right? Fantastic. Insolent, right? Brutal. Do you know anybody who's rich and brutal? It's because the greed is so magnified in that person. Now you can see cases like this, Satanic Congregation, that are obvious, stage 1, stage 2. But then you've got Trump way at stage 4. He's right there. The greed is terminal. Pleonexia. Do you see it? Blow it up. Pleonexia. Look at this. Greediness, assumption, arrogance. Why is it being paired with arrogance? People, you can tell this disease. It has its symptoms. Aristotle will talk about it profusely. Give me some more Greek. What is this, people? Philology. It's your love of money, your avarice, right? Your greed. Good. Next. Where is the root of all evil expression? Where does that come from, people? That comes from Jesus. No, it doesn't. It doesn't come from Jesus. Jesus was taking it from Greek. Greek that had been established for hundreds of years by the time Jesus got there. They're using it the same way. What is the expression? What is the expression? This is the root of all evil. What is that love of the cash? The good old cash, cash, cash. Right? It's led people away. This is Timothy. By the time it gets to the Bible, it's already very well established. And we'll look at those examples. But in this example with Timothy, Paul is talking about the root of evil. What is it? It's your love of that goddamn wealth. You can't be satisfied. Be satisfied. You've got 3 toilets. Come on, man. Be satisfied with your toilets. If you were, you wouldn't be making yourself sick, according to the Hippocratics. Driven by the greed, that'll take you right into the furnace. Oh, God, where you got to be purified then, right? Look at Trump. Look at Trump. Do you want to get that far? This is from the Hippocratic Corpus. You mean they're talking about greed in the Hippocratic Corpus? Yeah. And what are they pairing it with? Aselgeia. Do you remember where the aselgeia was coming from? That's a religious term of pollution and other diseases, people, other affections. Right? What he's saying here in the context is, look, these people, they really play up the manliness in war, right? But they're totally devastated by their aselgeia and their greed. What was that aselgeia? Look here, people. Licentiousness, wanton violence. Ow, sounds dirty. It is. What is this expression? Where is it coming from? Jesus is like, oh, God, if you want to follow me, sell everything. Give it away. Come with me. And the poor rich man is like, I can't do that. Right? Okay, then fine. Live in your greed. Jesus is talking like a Hippocratic physician. Yeah. There's a reason he's the divine physician, because he has read Hippocrates. People, and nobody knew that, right? I bring you good stuff. Satanic Congregation, I bring you, this is novel. Nobody has ever said this before. Jesus is reading Hippocrates. Yeah. People like to write a paper about this in some school. You know, it's just standard classical philology, talking about who somebody is using as a source. And by the way, people, this is Hippocratic Corpus. Okay, it's not one dude. It's the Hippocratic Corpus. And what does this say? Pluck out, cut out the root. What kind of root? The bitter root of greed. Here's the treatment, people. Here's the treatment. You have to cut out the root. You have to cut out the root in order to heal. The prayer to yourself is not going to heal you, right? In all of this medicine, not once have I seen a Hippocratic say, just pray to yourself. This is medicine, people. And if you want to stop being attacked by Pan, look Nemesis right in the face. Oh, look at this. It's a Christian site. Wealth builders. Wait a minute. What? Wealth builders? How many wealth builders? Wealth builders. Let's see. Look, they've got a university, people. I'll bet that degree is worth something. The root of all evil. Question mark? The root of all evil? 10 Bible verses about the love of money. I'm going to flush the person who wrote this article. Is money the root of all evil? There is no doubt that money has been used to facilitate evil agendas. However, Timothy 6:10 makes it clear that money is not the root of all evil. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of it is. Okay, it's an interesting way to look. The love of money is the root. Why is it important to say that? Because that allows you to justify doing the exact opposite of what the cult was doing, the exact opposite of what Jesus was doing. Here's 1 Timothy 6:10. People, just look at the first line. It's as plain as day. Rizakar panton ton kakon esti he filarguria. Greed is the root of all evil. Greed is the root of all evil. Imagine the dark, dark fear that it causes. It causes somebody to end up in a hospital. What's his problem, Martha? His problem is greed. See, that sounds funny to you because you don't look at greed as a disease. You don't categorize it as a medical problem, which you'll do with depression, but you won't with greed. People, here's some Hebrews. I just want you to see the greed is all over the place. What does the author of Hebrews say? Afil arguros. Ungreedy. That's what you ought to be, and you ought to be satisfied. It says, argumenoi tois parousin. You ought to be satisfied with what you have right now. The 12 steps are not going to help you with anything if your disease is greed. Let's flush the author of that Christian work paper. Let's flush the author of the Christian work who said that silliness. Down you go. Say hello to the alligators. Your airs, your waters, and your places are the influences. Do you understand? This is medicine. If you can keep up, this is all mental that we're talking about now. Do you understand? Greed is categorized as a mental disorder, like melancholia, right? Depression. A mental disorder. I know, once again, we get close to that with gambling. People will diagnose gambling. What is the difference between gambling and having a YouTube gamble? What is the difference? There isn't one. And if your plug-in is the making of the money, when you're not a making of the money, because the ladies who are ladies of the evening, we know they all have herpes, then things go wrong and you get stressed out. Right? That is the beauty of YouTube. The art is still there. People will follow the art. They trust the reason. They trust the science. What is that? Allotsoness, right? That's a wanderer, people. Don't be a charlatan. Don't be a charlatan. You are not entitled to constant success. You're not. Nobody is. It's life, and that's why we humbly live it. Because we don't want to attract nemesis by calling other people the awful things that we call them. Shame. The end is coming, people. It's the voice of the apocalypse. And now it's time for you to face your demise. Welcome to Nemesis.
You know, because he's like me. We don't think there is a God. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? You're right. Derek, chill. It's going to be okay. I don't know. I'm thinking of the funny meme that everyone knows. Daddy, chill. Daddy, chill. He's like, what the is even that? But I've been like overthinking it. And I know that I have problems. I'm sure there are things medically, but like, I'm going to be okay. So I started exercising. I started eating healthy. I started vlogging some of this stuff on my phone and explaining where I've been at on the run. In fact, I could attach these things. If you wanted me to, I'll piece them together. I'll show you the mornings and the evenings of me running to try and get out of this shit. I started documenting. I stopped at like day 9 or 10. Okay, stop documenting it.
Okay.
But I'm feeling better now.
Okay, fantastic, people. I'm glad that you're feeling better. The only problem is we haven't reached the root. We haven't been able to find the cause. The patient is unaware. Self-awareness is a state of health. And people, I'm going to say that again, and I know it's going to click with your brain just naturally. Self-awareness is healthy. Knowing who you are in time and space, right, is healthy. Knowing where you are, knowing what time of the day it is, knowing whether you're clothed or unclothed, right? Knowing whether you feel good or you feel rotten. Knowing is a state of health. If you are unknowing, you will miss the proper diagnosis. And you will end up terminal, like Donald Trump. What is the termination of this disease of greed? Exposure. The entire universe gets to watch what you are. Welcome to Tartarus. What did the physician tell you to do? Get rid of what you've got. Be satisfied. Right? It's the disease they're trying to purge because that's what the cult does. This is hundreds of years before Jesus. Look, they're still talking about it. Here's a historian talking about it. What are some of the things? He says, there are these three virtues. The first is that person who does not get angry, who does not come to that point of fury. The second is the person who does not have greed. And the third is the person who is not a lover of pleasure. For you to be not a hedonist, not greedy, why would those two go together? If you don't have a pool to enjoy, can you have pleasure if you don't have a pool? Do you see what causes the pain and the fear? Do you see why the drop and the disinspiration? When you fight for that money, you give up the right to the muse's voice. And we're going to flush him. Bye-bye. Maybe Julian was right. Maybe the Emperor Julian was right.